Welcome everybody to How Fast Will It Go, and today we're dealing with the 1994 Nissan Fairlady Z version S twin turbo. Now it has 1010 horsepower, 847 pounds-feet of torque from a 7 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine, and the car itself now weighs 2,876 pounds. It's now got all-wheel drive and it can do 0 to 16 2.024 seconds and go into 100 mile an hour in 4.558 seconds. So yeah, this was part of the seasonal championship in the autumn season, which unfortunately has now ended by the time this video comes out. But yeah, I'm glad it's made a return to a Forza game, and yeah, just a shame really though that it's not fully viewable in Forza Vista, as it has been for a long time a car that I've been really wanting to review. But unfortunately that won't be the case until I can fully view the car, so nonetheless it's going to get a go on this series. Now granted, that is not the most power I've ever had from a car on this series, and yeah, this is hardly the newest of vehicles, but it's got good acceleration, and yeah, older cars generally have the better gearboxes for these top speed runs, as they're not as complicated and they're usually only a 5 or a 6 speed. So yeah, nonetheless, let's get out there and see what it can do. So yeah, as you can see, acceleration is no problem. It's all about whether or not it can maintain that kind of acceleration as we, you know, increase in speed. Because the higher speeds we're going, the more difficult it is to gain any extra speed due to aerodynamics. But there's 240. 250. So we're hardly going to be the slowest car we've ever had on a series. 252. Oh dear, fair amount of understeer there. 252 is good so far. Hardly puts us on the lower end of the table. Yeah, that's all we're going to get on this side of the motorway, so let's get around this roundabout and see what else we can do on the other side. Try and carry as much speed as possible onto this motorway. It's not really all that quick as soon as we get past 220. It does slow down a significant amount, which does, you know, prove that the less power you're going to have on a series like this, the slower you're going to be getting up to those kind of speeds. It's perfectly good up until about 200 mile an hour, but after that it does seem to slow down a fair bit, especially when we get into 6th gear. We're struggling. I don't think we're going to get any more out of this, to be honest. We can either have the power or the road to do any more, but 252 is hardly the worst that we've had. It's beaten several cars that are far newer than this. So yeah, there we go. 252 mile an hour. Would have liked more out of this car, granted, but you know, considering it's only just got 1010 horsepower, when you consider plenty of vehicles in this series have way more than that, that is still fairly decent. So it beats the Celine S5S Raptor, the Aston Martin Vantage, and the Mitsubishi GTO, as well as the Mercedes-Benz SL65 AMG Black Series, all of which are newer vehicles than this, and it's 4 mile an hour behind the Jaguar C-Type, and 6 mile an hour behind the Aston Martin DB10. But yeah, still fairly impressed by this. It handled the power really rather well. Granted, it is only around 3 and a bit times the power it had originally, but still, it dealt with it really rather well. And yeah, the acceleration, well, the initial acceleration, at least up to about 200 mile an hour, was really good. It's just the acceleration after that, especially like I said, once we got into 6th gear, that it slowed down, and you really did notice the lack of power in comparison to other vehicles on this series. But it's hardly last place, like I said. It's in a solid 17th place, so well in the top 20. And yeah, at the end of the day, it was controllable, and yeah, it's still a really rather fun car to drive. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.